Hi, hey everybody. So welcome here to the MVP, the real MVP hangout. We're gonna just talk a little bit about. We got two of our devs are missing here today. Maybe one of them will show up, but Chris isn't gonna be able to make it, and hopefully Ash shows up here. But at least we've got Rob and we got Darian and we got Jordan, who's an original founder of Nareel, and you've probably seen him on the other hangouts here. So. Anyway, so I want to just dive right into it. Actually, maybe we could introduce ourselves just a little bit. You guys could talk about yourselves a little bit because we've never done this with you guys on air. But this will be recorded for other people to check out. It'll be available. So maybe we could start with you, Darian.
Sure. I'm Darian Oliphant. I have a bachelor's degree in mathematics, so I'm not much of a developer, although I like to dabble. Um, the reason I'm involved in Nareel, mostly because of you, Will. I like blockchains. I like the idea of kind of building a decentralized, distributed communication system. I think it's a really intriguing to use the blockchain to create a giant artificial intelligence engine. It's cool.
Sweet. All right. And Rob, what got you into Real? What are you up to?
Hi, my name's Rob. I've been programming, well, for a long time, probably since I was about 10. I've always been interested in artificial intelligence. I have a degree in physics and a master's in computer science. This is right up my alley, really. I met Will at the Microsoft store in downtown Salt Lake. We were both interested in virtual reality. Both kind of fans in the movie Lawnmower Man. So it's just the perfect fit, really, for me. Since also saw the movie 2001, The How, you know, that kind of was very inspiring as well. Just virtual reality and AI always been kind of a passion of mine. Always wanted to really get into this. Um, you know, so that was really to say. This is a lot of fun. I know there's, talking about points and stuff, but I would do this for free, you know. So that's really to say. I'm working right now. I'm currently working on the what's called a CNTK. It's the computational network toolkit that Microsoft created. So I'm going to take what's currently written in Neureal and port that over into CNTK. So that's it, pretty much in a brief nutshell.
That's awesome. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, you've been pretty ho and doing like just jumping in there and trying a bunch of stuff out and getting some stuff going. So I'm glad to have both of you helping out here. It's really awesome. So yeah, you mentioned the point. So a lot of us would do it, for free. I mean, I've been doing it for 3 years for free, pretty much, almost, except for that. It's that thing we did with Brock to make the prototype. So yeah, it's our passion, but maybe sometimes those things pay off, and the crypto kind of gives it the potential to be able to support us and so that we can do it, work on it more, pursue those, have a little bit more to pursue those passions. So, but we're still, like you said, I'm still excited about the future, and I really want to help make that happen, and I want to help people out. I mean, for me, it's, everybody knows, I don't know, I've said this a million times, but for me, it's, there's got to be some answer to Google centralized systems of AI. They're a huge thing out there. There's a lot of power there, and I wanted to do something about it, not just talk about it and be afraid, but actually do something about it. and give the power of AI to the people. And so, as opposed to, having these big corporations own be the only ones to really own the power of the AI. So anyway, that's why I'm into it. So this point thing is a great way to, to kind of keep track of people's contributions. So if investment comes in, or the system itself does well, we can the decentralized system itself, then we can benefit according to our efforts. So anyway, so that's what we were kind of talking about earlier. Jordan is going to take over that role for us. So he's one of the original founders, and you've seen him, like I said, on the other things though. So we were just talking about that. So we're trying to get caught up and make sure that everyone's getting, if they're putting effort into this MPP, they're getting their points. So anyway, so cool. So go ahead and Rob, if you want to just go over anything. I don't know if you watched that video and went over the code or anything.
Well, I watched portions of the video. I've been busy with the other project and stuff this week, but so I saw where I remember at the top of my head which part it was in the video, but you're discussing the inputs for the neural network.
Mm-hmm.
So is that still relevant? I know that video was probably made like a couple years ago, I guess. So is that still relevant? The code that you're talking about to get those neural network inputs? So I need to use, well, what I really need right now is just what to feed the CNTK. Like I pretty much everything else kind of working, and so I just need that to kind of experiment, how well that toolkit can, start predicting stock trades.
Yeah, or cryptocurrency trades, right?
Well, sure. Yes, right. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So so I remember now too. I remember that you. So it was Chris that was going to look at the new coin, which is the C++ code for the coin itself, and then Ash was going to look at the new project, which is the Java side, which is the GUI side, the interface side. So she was going to kind of look at. They each we're going to look at that, but they're not here, so I guess we can't get feedback on that. But you were going to look more into the CNTK, and what you realized is that I'm just synopsising what you said. What you realized is that you don't know what to give it, what information, what
yes.
train on. So when I was doing the predictor for the using the GRU, I think it used GRU RNN to do the Shakespeare, to predict the characters in Shakespeare. So what I gave it was just the whole works of Shakespeare, like the file, right? And then it read through and sectioned it off and did things, right? So really what we need to do is figure out a way to get CNTK. So the key thing is to get CNTK to take streamed data. So it needs, instead of a file and it goes through and does it, we need to get the organization of CNTK to be able to take like time-based streamed pieces of data, in the format that we came up with, which was the tensors. So if we need to package the wherever we get the data from, which was kind of going to be Chris's, was going to help with that. Wherever we get the data from, for instance, we'll probably just do one of the exchange houses out there. So did we talk about that at all? I think did we choose one to like start off with, just to get like data from an exchange, because I think it's going to be.
I'm trying to remember. I don't recall that was discussed.
Darian,
unless I was wrong. I mean,
I think we talked. That was something we were having trouble deciding, just because there wasn't a lot of good choices, at least for trading USD to Bitcoin. I know that there's some better options for going cryptocurrency to cryptocurrency. But I don't think we ever made a final decision. I know we also talked about getting some information from Bloomberg.
Yeah, I talked to what's the name about that, and that's not going to happen.
Okay.
But it's okay because we can get that data ourselves. So what we can get is we can find out from them where they get their data sources from. The thing in Bloomberg that's key that we're not going to be able to have though is information before it happens. So they get information before everybody else gets information. So it's for like high frequency trading and whatnot. So they can run their things and they'll get information before other people do. Like, I don't know how much time, like a small amount of time. So we wouldn't be able to do that, but I don't think it really matters because we're predicting like future. So the farther in the future we can predict, the less we need to worry about how fast we do it, right?
Yeah.
So our thing is that. So anyway, so what I'm saying is we could try cryptocurrency trading first, and because there's problems with dollars and everything, I think maybe we should we could just do cryptocurrency and do like some place simple. I mean, if we did Coinbase, they're going to be kind of weird. I don't know, Jordan. What do you think, Jordan? Have you done much trading lately?
Sorry, I was on mute. What was that?
Have you done much trading or anything lately? Have you done?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, what's his name? There's a couple people I know. We'll figure that out. So it'll be something like we could do the Coinbase exchange, or we could do, and then we could switch. Then we'd be able to do dollar trading, too with Coinbase itself. So, I mean, we could go that direction. It's a little bit harder, but I don't know what Chris feels comfortable with because he'd probably be writing the code for that.
The last thing I traded in a automated fashion was on BTC-E.
Oh, okay. So Polynex I know is good, and BTC-E has been around forever. Didn't they collapse though?
I don't know. There's something they're around. I was on the website yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, to answer your question, Rob, we'll be getting data from one of these exchanges. Probably doing cryptocurrency first, just because it's easier, and there's less weirdness about it, and then switching to dollars to cryptocurrency. So or adding in dollars later, I think. So what we need to do is get CNTK to the place where it can take that. I mean, there may be time. It might be like every minute or every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes it changes. So you get a tick, whatever. So like you could be getting the data, like that, and then it needs to, as it gets new data, it needs to train on that data, for predicting the next whatever, and also so it needs to train and produce a result. So it needs to do the online learning basically, which is what we're kind of waiting for them to do. But in the meantime, maybe what you could do, Rob, is look at the possibilities of what's already out there in CNTK land, that if there's any examples or anything of anything taking data like that.
Okay.
Using an LSTM or a GRU, RNN or whatever. Because I know that the key point about CNTK is that it does for sure, and it's low level, it does for sure do GPU acceleration on those algorithms. And it's not just emulated. It's not just using it's what I mean by emulated. It's not just using BLAS, like most of the other ones use NVIDIA BLAS libraries, the BLAS. Darian, are you familiar with that at all? What that means at all?
No.
It's a math thing. BLAS. Let's see. Let me look it up. It's probably once we get the right name of it, you'll probably know what I'm talking about.
But it's probably just some cool stuff with linear algebra, right? Like something that.
Yeah.
Basic linear algebra subprograms.
What is it?
Basic linear algebra subprograms.
Ta-da!
That's what BLAS. Okay, basic linear algebra. Okay.
Darian, see, you're like, it's probably just some basic linear algebra subprograms. Oh wait, that's the acronym. So yeah, so a lot of them just use BLAST, right, to get the acceleration, but the CNTK actually uses NVIDIA's latest
Yeah.
CUDA
Right.
CNN.
Yep. Yeah, they do. Yeah, the latest CUDA, what's like 8 or 9 now.
And the CUDNN in it, not just the BLAST. Like they use the NVIDIA accelerated, which was 6 times faster than anything else out there. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that's the deal with that. And so so Rob, what are the chances of you? What are the chances of you being able to maybe try to figure that out? And then what I would do, Rob, is I would just, instead of like waiting for real data, just like fake it, like have it send random.
Okay.
To it,
Okay.
But the important part is that you're able to send it at random times, every minute or two, or you could do it faster, every 10 seconds or something. You send it some data, right, and it tries to predict what the next one's going to be, but you're giving it random data. And if it's good enough, it may actually be able to predict the random algorithm, because they're pseudo-random. They're not actually random.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it may actually be able to figure it out.
Yeah, especially what the Microsoft random number generator really isn't random. Okay, so just try to give it some data right now. If possible, try to find this cryptocurrency data, if I can find it. But it has to be time sequence data. That's kind of the main thing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the data is. I mean, it really shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter what the actual data is.
Uh-huh.
What matter is the format of the data, how you give it the data.
Okay.
So you need to be able to take the data in the right format. So the format of the data is important, and then the fact that you can give it data at different times, and it does some sort of online learning, or even if it doesn't do the learning, if it's just doing the predictions and not training on the data, at least you're predicting, time sequence data. I mean, that's the key thing.
Time sequence. Okay. All right.
And are you using BrainScript mainly, or you using?
BrainScript and Python.
Okay, so you're setting up the network BrainScript, and then you're feeding it data through Python. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, right now I'm just going over data. Yeah, I'm just going over their examples that they have, and they have lots of examples, and I'll see if they have one for the time sequence.
Okay, and then okay, so cool, and that feeds into what you were going to do. Maybe spend some time in in Anaconda and Python there, and maybe play around with those libraries and stuff. Have you done anything with that, or?
Not with the libraries you told me about. I've just kind of been brushing up on my machine learning in general.
Oh, okay.
Because
there's a lot to
I
learn.
need to know more. Yeah.
Another pardon me. Another question I have. It's not really an important question, but pardon me. Do we want to be able to share a CNT box that everyone can use? If I can install this pretty much anywhere, I could install it on a machine that you have in your office, Will, that we all could log into. I mean, it's not really. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know
we'll talk about that a little bit.
if you want to do that now, but I mean, I could. At some, I mean, whenever it's convenient, I guess. Or maybe we can have some kind of remote machine somewhere. This can exist on Azure.
Right.
So
And,
we
and
could have an Azure account and we all could log into, just remote into, or I don't
it's
know.
expensive though to run it on there. I mean, I spent like for the big data competition, I spent like $60 or something, 40, $60 running. And that was just running it like overnight a couple times.
Because I believe you can set it up so it can use the graphics, the GPU, NVIDIA. I think it has the option to do that. I'm not sure how virtualized that actually is. I remember reading something about that.
Yeah, there's a thing that they have called, I can't remember the name of it exactly. It's but basically it's Microsoft's. It's part of the CNTK. If you download it and whatnot, it's in there. They talk about it in there. You need to install it, which is something I did. I can't remember the name though, but it's their way to do to have multiple GPUs hooked up, and it's kind of separate from CNTK, but they have support for it and they can utilize it. So you basically run this program on the machines that you want to be part of it, and then they connect up to each other and can share. They can share the batches, like the data batches, and so they can communicate. They can collaborate to train your network, and it's using stochastic gradient descent, the SDG or whatever. You can quickly share, especially with their 1-bit. That was their claim to fame. There's the 1-bit SDG, so you've got a small packet size or whatever for sharing the between the gradients between everybody. So anyway,
Okay.
so that I'm pretty sure that's kind of what the deal is. So we could try to set something like that up where you guys could use everybody could use I have 4 and 1080s now. So I have a 1080 upstairs at the hub here, and then I have with a kind of a dedicated VR machine, but we could use that. That's the one here at the hub. We could set that up, and then I have 2 in my home machine, and then I have 1 extra just sitting there. I was going to loan it to Michelle, which she could. I don't know if she could leave it on hers on or anything like that, but maybe I could set up a dedicated machine with that in it that we could use. Just that one quality.
Okay. Do we want to have the source code available for everybody, or want to just use the binaries? If we have like a shared CNTK, I mean, the one that I would use, I'll have the source code. So
yeah, the stuff that I looked at, like the stuff that we're gonna have to do for our custom stuff, is the binary. I mean, is not the binaries.
okay.
You have to recompile. Like we have to create our own.
Okay.
Wait, is that true though? Is that true? Is that true? I'm trying to think. Because if we have it as a DLL, no, because there isn't a DLL. It's an executable. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. You only get the executable if you're going to have just the binaries.
Right. Which isn't
right.
gonna work.
Yeah.
So we have to create our own DLL basically.
Okay. All right.
We have to compile it.
Yeah.
So
we need the source code. Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing to do.
Okay.
Is figure out a project to compile that, and we can put that up on the real Git as well, and we should because it's all open source.
Alrighty. So just let me know okay. So I'll work on this time sequence based data training. Get that, whether I'm using a brain script or a Python, with the time sequence, create my own data. Then just let me know where you would want me to place this, so you all can start sharing.
Yeah, I'll set up the Git because you're not totally familiar with it yet. So I'll set up the Git for that project or whatever. But if you can get it working and find an example, have the architecture or whatever of the network, and then we should be able to convert the brain script into like the code, like to translate the brain script into code. what that means is that we just go through the brain script, figure out like what it's doing, and then we implement that in code. So when I went through the code, the CNTK code, they have like these functions you can call that do basically this very similar things to what you set up in the brain script. So I saw where you would, and those examples in there, they have examples. So those examples do that. Like the one V2 example does, sets up a network and like has all the different layers and everything, just like you would with Python and whatnot. So, okay, well, cool. And then Darian, do you, Darian, do you, how deep do you want to get into the Python and try examples and stuff like that? I know you're kind of learning about it on an overall thing, but sometimes it's nice to jump in and actually play around with some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead and make some assignments for me. I'll try to figure it out. If I need help, I'll talk to you or other people on the team and see what we can do.
Well, what I'm thinking, I know, Jordan, you like ADA a lot, right?
I like what?
ADA?
ADA.
ADA.
What does that stand for?
ADA, isn't that it? Or wait, what's it called? The language?
Oh, TCL.
Oh, TCL. Why did I think it was ADA?
ADA.
That's another language. I get them mixed up these days. So TCL, that's right. You like TCL, but you're not bad with Python. Like you spent some time with Python.
A little.
So what I'm thinking is maybe you guys could both kind of benefit by jumping in there. I know that Jordan, we've been to a bunch of conferences and stuff like that where Ben Taylor, talks about Keras and puts it up on the like here's the example, here's the thing that's super fancy or whatever. But if you guys both wanted to explore that, you could help each other out. I think you really help each other out, and then you could both kind of jump into that, and start doing those examples like Ben Taylor does. Figure out the what are they, the Jupyter notebooks and stuff. And the ability to how to work those and how and, the ability to do experiments, and try out and kind of get an idea of how the networks work and layers and everything.
Yeah.
Sure.
So do you have a Darian? I know you work in Linux. Do you have a Linux, or you have worked in Linux?
Yeah, I'm a little familiar with Linux, and I can get something set up if I need to. So.
And Anaconda on Linux, or do you guys both? I know Jordan, you do Windows mainly.
Mainly.
Yeah, that's what I mainly do too.
Sweet.
Okay, you both do. So that would mean you're going to have to do the Anaconda on Windows, which is pretty hard to set up for Keras and that kind of stuff. But you can still do Jupyter notebooks. And remember we talked about like hosting them and stuff. So it's hard to host them. You have to actually have a website, but maybe you could figure it out. You guys could figure it out. You just have to put the Jupyter notebook. The problem is that you have to have the engine underneath the Jupyter notebook. So you can't just put it on the website like the HTML or something, right? You have to actually have like the PHP, and not PHP, but the Anaconda engine behind it to execute it, right?
Right.
So I don't know if there's like places you can host that maybe that will host that for you, or where would we put that up, or like to collaborate on those, that stuff. We don't know what the easiest way to. I tried to do it before, but it didn't really. I don't know enough about I know people do it all the time. Like Ben Taylor, has it. Like you can just go to his website and run it, off of the server.
I could probably figure out how to host that. So I've got DreamHost, and they use, I don't know, all their servers just run Ubuntu. So I don't know if that's a possibility.
Well, it's got to have some compute power behind it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Using the GPUs and stuff. Maybe that's the same problem that me and Rob were talking about. Like, how do we access the GPU on a shared thing? So maybe the key is here is just to get a publicly accessible server set up somewhere
Yeah.
that we can all, that has all the stuff on it that we can do the Jupyter and everything on. Because if we set up a Linux box with Anaconda and Jupyter and everything hooked up, and we got the GPU working, it would, if we followed like the tutorial to do that, it would be available and work and do everything we wanted to. So we just need to figure out how to do that. Maybe we know someone else in the community that's done stuff like that would be able to do that. I have the GPU and I can get I have the computer to put it in. So I have a computer and a GPU to put it in. I just need to get the software and figure out where to host it. I have Google Fiber at my office. There's gigabit here at the hub. So the only problem is getting like a static IP. So I'd have to pay for a static IP, which I could. Maybe at my office I could do that. And then just have a static IP, and then that's how we get there. But I need somebody to help set up the software, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we could do it. Maybe, Rob, you could help out. Or who's Linux is Chris. Chris is a lot of like Linux dude. Maybe he's on that level. He could really just do it with us. With me. And we could just get it set up. Maybe that's the key. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna have to do because you guys just want to use it and play around with it, and I think that's like right. Am I? Do you see anything wrong with my thinking here?
No.
You guys just want to
Sounds
play
good.
around, right?
Is there any problem doing it in Windows? Since that's kind of what most of us all
there's
use for most of the time.
About. There's two problems with that. Number one, it's really, really hard to get Keras and working, and even the even Keras and even the library it's based on. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, so the one it's based on, right? It's even hard to get that one to work. So especially with the GPU acceleration and whatnot. So. And that's the other problem. If you're running it locally on your machine, you're not going to have access to 1080 or like that kind of compute hardware. You're going to be able to have some compute, but you won't have the power of a 1080 compute. And if I set this up and it's a static IP, you don't have to pay for it either because you don't have to pay EC2 or anything to do it. Does that make sense? So basically, you guys can go to this web address and be like, okay, I have a GPU 1080 set up there. I have that much compute power, so I can run this stuff, and it won't take a week to run. You'll have that type of compute power behind it on my machine, and you'll be able to do. All you guys got to learn then is just how to do the Jupyter notebooks, on the web. Have you played around with those, Jordan, at all before?
Yeah, not on the web, but like
locally
on a local installation.
You did? Okay. Yeah. So, and you too, right, Darren? Right, Darren? You do too?
Locally.
You did? Okay. So
it's same here. Yeah, running local my local machine on the browser.
Right. So if we do it on this shared machine, then we all have access to the same code, so we can kind of collaborate, right? So you can set up different notebooks on the same server. So you could have your own personal notebook, and then we could have a collaborative notebook. We could work on something together. I think that's really beneficial for this. I think, and so the CNTK we could put on there as well and try to figure that out so we can access that too, sort of in the same way, maybe, or not Jupyter. You were saying they do Jupyter notebooks though, Rob?
I'm trying to think if you actually use Jupyter notebooks. Top of my head, I don't recall them using Jupyter notebooks.
Okay.
It
What was the Python like?
it was the Anaconda Python.
And you just do command line. It wasn't because then
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think it's gonna work on Jupyter because it has to go. Yeah, it runs some special commands just to get it to work
Okay.
with Python. So you can't just like type Python and have it work.
Uh-huh.
You have to run some commands first, basically, to hook into the CNTK
Oh.
to use it from the command line. So I don't want to just say no. I can look into some more, but I don't recall them mentioning anything about using
Well, once you
having it web based. So
right. Well, once you get it, you should be able to once you get it connected. Like once you get that stuff set up so it's connected, and you can just write regular Python code, to integrate with it. Then you could use it in Jupyter Notebook. So you have to get that all set up first.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah. You got that part. We got to figure out anyhow.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, let's try to do that because that would be that'd be great to get that server. Then we can all just play around with this stuff and learn better and have access to some good hardware. Because we're gonna eventually need it to run like that anyway. Once we get we're gonna have to have our own servers to test out in real. And
sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. I mean to cut you off. Sorry. CNTK can run on Linux. There's gotta be a way to get it to run on notebooks. Okay.
It can on Linux, you said?
Yes, it can.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds great. I think that's it. Ash never didn't show up, but and Chris couldn't come. So hopefully we'll get them on the next one. I think we should do this every time because then people can come in and we have a record of what we talked about. So what do you guys think? Are you comfortable with that, or?
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
I'm fine with it personally.
Okay. You too, Ralph?
Oh, yes, that's fine. And one more question too is Darian. There's some mathematics I'd like to go over with you on how the CNTK works as well.
Sure.
Okay. I can send you. Well, not just you. I'll put on the Hangouts the link to that paper. That way, we all can just be sharing stuff on there. Just go over that at your whenever you can, and I don't know if you want to just start discussing it, kind of just through chat on Google Chat, or if you want to, I don't know, however you want to do that, however you want to correspond.
Tell you what, how about I give you a call right after this meeting, and we can go over some of it.
Okay, I'll send my number then on the Hangouts. I do have to leave soon. I gotta.
Yeah, let's go.
I gotta go to that virtual reality
meeting.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll send over my my number on Google, and we'll just talk then.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds good there. I think Jordan's falling asleep over there.
No, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out, and I guess we'll see you on the next one.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Adios.
See ya.
See ya.